At 4:33 a.m., 10 sea-skimming C-802B missiles light up the scope. One gets through. Why did a world-class Aegis destroyer stop 9 and miss the 10th? You clicked for the collision and chaos, you're in the right place. We'll reconstruct the 18 SM-6 intercept sequence, the radar geometry, and the blind spot that let a single warhead breach close in. Stick with me, you'll see how layered defense actually performs under a massed salvo, and why point defense networks win the war but still bleed in the moment that matters. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great! Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. 10 radar blips at sea level. 9 die in the air. 1 survives the gauntlet. Why does the best shield still bleed? At 4:33 a.m., the rails kick. 10 C-802Bs leave the launchers without a call, without a warning, angling low toward a U.S. destroyer running escort for civilian tankers in open water. The missiles ride the skin of the sea, built to hide in the clutter and steal seconds from defenders. That's the trade, speed and altitude for surprise and compression. The crew doesn't get minutes. They get moments. Aegis wakes inside a tight detection window. Sea skimmers hug 4 to 6 meters above the surface, which drags them under the radar horizon until late. Near land, the geometry turns hostile. Returns bounce off shoreline features and scatter. Echoes stack and smear. The scope shows noise where you need clarity. This is where errors breed, low, fast, and lost in the background. The bridge flips from routine to war in one call.
Putting U.S. troops on the ground is not off the table when it comes to possible military action against a South American country. The U.S. military continues to add firepower to an already major presence in the Caribbean.
The vast U.S. military buildup in this region continues. There are now roughly 15,000 U.S. service members in this region, whether here in Puerto Rico or in the Caribbean Sea. Here, we've heard from a local mayor, 1,000 troops are now at a base in the west, and they're hosting the Reaper drones, armed with Hellfire missiles. These are ones that are thought to be taking out these suspected drug smuggling boats.
Alpha fire control. Consoles harden. Watchstanders snap to sectors. The threat matrix spins up and rakes the sky for angles that matter: bearing, altitude, closure. Tracks get tagged and numbered. Priorities lock based on who hits first, not who looks meanest. The commander owns timelines. Everyone else feeds the firing solution. SM-6 cells cough to life in ripple fire. 18 shots, not waste, but math. Shoot look shoot rules the cadence, because one clean intercept doesn't guarantee the next in heavy clutter. Each ripple stretches the odds, not by guessing, but by folding in cross cues from ship radar and other sensors to stack intercept windows like rungs on a ladder. You thin early. You fix what slips. You reserve a pair if the picture turns. The intercept ladder climbs fast. Long-range shots rake the front of the pack and force the salvo to shed weight. Mid-course updates keep the interceptors hooked to weaving targets, correcting for tiny shifts that would otherwise let a missile drift out of the basket. Then terminal seekers do the work up close, closing the loop with heads that see better than the wide-beam search could at the start. Each kill buys seconds. Each second lets the next shot breathe. But every shield has a seam. At low altitude, the ship's own radar horizon draws a hard limit. The wake throws its own return into the air, a bright smear that steals attention. One missile rides the edge of that geometry, skating the notch where the radars look angle and the sea state bend the track into a brief fade. Not invisible. Just late. 9 die because they act like they should. Their profiles run steady, their bearings favor clear look angles, and their radar cross-sections sit fat enough for seekers to lock and stick. One lives because timing and angle line up with a microblind, a split beat where the picture drops, the update misses the weave, and the intercept window shrinks by just enough to slip. The breach is not a system failure. It's probability under saturation. Layered defense does what it's built to do: engage far, correct mid, finish near, yet the last layer still has to live with physics. Water bends waves. Earth hides edges. Clutter lies. The hit lands close. Metal screams. Sensors blink. Damage control runs hard while fire control keeps breathing. You don't get to pause. You turn the ship from absorbing punishment to imposing cost. You buy time with speed, angle, and noise. You make the next volley harder than the first, and you make the launch platform pay. The next move decides whether this stays a fight or becomes a warning that ends it. One warhead breaches. Fuel pods rupture. The clock starts. Can you keep a fighting ship in the fight while a second wave forms? The hit tears open a section near the stern and sprays fuel across hot steel. Deck paint blisters. Cables sag. Sensors stutter as shock ripples through racks and junctions. The crew moves on muscle memory. Hatches dog down to cut airflow. Foam floods the compartment and smothers flame before it can race forward. Power techs isolate a scorched feeder and reroute juice to keep the combat system awake. Surface search recalibrates, runs a quick self-test, and the picture steadies. You can breathe when the pumps catch prime and the smoke curtain holds. But then another volley takes shape downrange. If you stay in a shell, you accept attrition. If you swing hard now, you risk widening the fight. The bridge rides that knife edge, and you feel the weight of it in your gut. The answer is not rage. It's control. Point defense tightens. Mount captains check arcs and confirm sectors. CIWS hammers run a status drill with short spins to verify traverse. Decoys sit live with programmed salvos to throw false targets and soak seekers. Fire control slants the ship a few degrees, trading profile for better look angles and more sky under the radar horizon. Speed creeps up, then down, then up again, small changes that bend timing and break the rhythm of any follow-on shot. Meanwhile, the larger team moves. Another destroyer reaches for Tomahawk Block 5, not as payback, but to break the kill chain at its links. The mission profile is defeat and deter. Take the launch nodes off the board and force the other side to lose the tools that make a second strike possible. Low cruise, smart routes, and a blast at the right switchboard do more than a loud threat ever could. It buys you time. It steals theirs. Air power checks in high. F-35C pairs loft LRASM from standoff range, well outside the envelope of shipboard air defenses. The missiles ride in quiet, hard to sort from noise, and choose steel with intent. That's the point of LRASM, a long reach, a shape that stays low on sensors, and a brain built to find the parts that matter: radar arrays, combat system spaces, propulsion trunks. You don't need to sink a hull to end a fight. You blind it, deafen it, or stop its screws, and the threat collapses like a ladder with the middle rungs kicked out. Under strain, the layered defense still holds shape because each layer knows who it serves. Long-range fires thin risk. Mid-range sensors stitch a stable picture. Close-in guns and decoys clean what sneaks through. In the gaps, the command team buys seconds with geometry, with speed, with noise on demand. Small choices stack. A steady hand beats a loud voice. So the calculus settles. Proportionate force closes the immediate threat and keeps the fight from spilling wider. You send a message without writing a new chapter you can't control. The defenders keep escort duty intact. Civilians keep moving. The launch source loses the ability to try again without betting the whole fleet.